All right, and welcome to Crossroads Live on the road. We are in Ardmore, Oklahoma. My name is Jim, and I'm standing here with my buddy Dean. And where are we today, Mr. Redding?
We're at the Cowboy MayFest. And we're at Marketplace on Broadway in Ardmore.
Yeah.
And I heard you always wanted to be on Broadway.
Well, yes, I did. I did a lot of plays off Broadway. They were way off Broadway.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've got a bunch of legendary actors here today that are greeting people and talking to them and signing autographs and just some fabulous things going on today.
Yeah, well, we got people like James is here.
L.Q. Jones.
L.Q. Jones?
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I mean, my Louisiana accent gets in the way sometimes.
Well, that's true.
That's true.
We got Gary Clark.
Who?
Gary Clark.
I thought his name was Steve Hill.
And that's only on the Virginian.
Oh, okay. And what about Roberta?
Shore.
I remember her.
Yeah, I know you do.
Oh, boy. I tell you what I did. I saw her on American Bandstand. That was a long time ago.
I imagine, yes.
Yeah, you didn't see that?
That was before I was born.
What is it?
But,
yeah. Who else?
We've got, who else do we have today? We've got Buck Stanky's here. Ken
Stanky?
Farmer.
Ken Farmer? I know him. He did that chili commercial.
Clu Gulager, Randy Boone.
Yeah.
We've got all kind of people here today.
Yeah. Well, we'll get them all up here and talk to them a little bit.
We'll have some of them here, and we'll be interviewing some of them today.
Well, I heard a rumor that you do rope tricks.
Nah, that's false.
Huh?
That's not true.
That's not true? Why don't you get down to your rope and do me a little trick?
Well, I do one trick.
Do the trick. Do your one trick.
If you insist.
Yeah.
Are you watching?
I'm watching.
Watching close?
I'm watching close. You better hope that camera's watching.
Well, let's see.
Okay, there you go.
How's that?
That's not bad. Who taught you how to do that?
A guy named Robert Hinkle.
The same man that taught James Dean.
That's correct.
In the movie?
Giant.
Wow. He also taught him how to
Talk Texan. Yeah.
Talk Texan.
And be Texan. And Rock Hudson. He also taught Paul Newman how to talk Texan, and Patricia Neal and Melvin Douglas.
Yeah.
In HUD.
Wow.
In fact, when Patricia Neal won the Oscar for HUD, she thanked everybody, and then right at the end she said, "And thank you, Bob." Nobody knew she was talking about Bob Hinkle.
Yeah.
But she was.
All right. Well, he is a great cowboy.
He is.
He is a great cowboy.
I'm sad he's not here, but he's doing some worthwhile things, so he couldn't make it to Ardmore this year.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'm grateful that he taught you how to do that little trick.
Well, I'm happy that you are.
Yeah, it's really a thrill. And so, anyway, I'll tell you what, why don't we wrap things up here and get ready to talk to a few people.
We've got some legendary actors over here we need to talk to.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Today, I'm out here with my pal Danny Boy, and we have a message for you from the American Lung Association. If you don't smoke, don't start. And if you do smoke, find a way to stop. Now, we know that it's not easy. So check with your doctor. He'll be the first one who'll be glad to help show you the way. Now, for a better quality life and a longer life, stop smoking today. So, for me and Danny, to all of you, good luck, God bless, and here's hoping we see you at the Crossroads.
All right, welcome back to Crossroads Live. We're on the road. We're in Ardmore, Oklahoma, and I'm sitting here with one of my old buddies. I'll tell you what, it's really nice to see my friend Don Reynolds one more time, partner.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be seen anywhere at my age.
Well, you're not that old. I have to say that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not telling ages, okay? But I'll tell you what, you have lived one of the most fascinating lives.
It has been different.
Well,
than most people.
I think it's fascinating because, you know, me as a little kid living down in Louisiana, we always dreamed of meeting Gene Autry and Champion and Roy Rogers and Trigger and Dale Evans and Buttermilk. You actually did it.
I did.
Yeah, and the great thing about your story, and I think should be always told because you never know. You growing up, you were a trick writer, right?
I was a trick writer and trick roper. And
you were in New York?
I was in New York in 1943.
And you met one of my heroes,
Roy Rogers.
Leonard Sly.
Leonard Sly.
And
he brought me to California and put me in pictures.
Yeah. And I think it's a wonderful thing. He took an interest in you. And that, you know, he opened that door for you.
Yes, he did. It was a great opportunity, and my dad saw it and took me to it, and that's where my career began.
Well, that's credit to your father. And it's really a credit to your dad because he gave you that opportunity in life.
That's right.
You know, but when you went out there to audition, you told me that you were too small at first for Little Beaver?
Yes. And then later on, whenever it changed companies and owners and whatever, then I was big enough, and then I auditioned and I got the part.
All right, because I thought you were great as Little Beaver.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Because you could really ride those horses and and jumping over horses and everything else.
Yeah.
And but tell me a little bit because I always admired him. Jim Bannon. Tell me a little bit about him.
Jim, of course, I didn't meet him until it was time to do Red Ryder, but he came out to our house and basically learned to ride.
Oh, really?
I mean, he knew a little bit, but I mean, he got where we gave him instruction and stuff, and he worked real hard, and he became a pretty fair rider. And but he dyed his hair red to get the part, and that's one of the reasons they gave it to him. And then he asked for me for Little Beaver, so that's how I got in there.
Well, that was another great door opening.
Yes, it was.
You know, and had you done any acting at all before, or was that your first step?
Oh no, my first movie was in 1944 with Roy Rogers.
Roy Rogers.
And then I did one with Eddie Dean and another one with Roy Rogers, and then others, which my memory is getting so bad I can't remember now.
Wait a minute. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I could be wrong on this, but I thought you once told me you did a movie with Charles Starrett.
Yes, I did 4 movies with Charles Starrett as a Durango kid.
Oh, I love those movies.
Yeah.
One question about that movie. I always wondered, when I was a little kid, you would see him ride into the trees on a brown horse, and then he'd come out on a white horse dressed in black.
That's right.
Was there stables or something back there? I always wondered about that.
No, there was a little barn back there that he kept his extra horse in, and it was hidden so nobody could find it, and so that's how he kept that horse there and maintained it and whatever on the secret. And so whenever he needed it, he could run in and change and come out on a white horse.
I used to wonder about that. See, I said, what was that white horse? Where did he keep the costume? You know,
that was there in the barn,
too. But that was my wondering about things like that. But anyway, no, those were fun movies when we were kids. And, I want you to know, me as a kid, what I used to do. We'd go to the theater and we'd stay all day. Watch the same movie over and over and over.
Oh, I did that, too, when I was young.
You?
Oh, yeah, for a quarter.
For a quarter?
We could go to the movie, get a bag of popcorn and a soda pop.
Yeah.
For a quarter.
Yeah.
And we'd be there all day. If they played it again, we'd watch it again.
Oh, sure.
And I rode 4 miles on my horse, tied my horse to a telephone pole, and went and saw the movie. And then when the movies were over, after 2 or 3 of them, I would go out, get on my horse, and ride back home.
Wow. Yeah.
In Van Nuys.
Van Nuys,
You couldn't do that now. It's so much traffic.
No way.
And,
no way. Well, what about who of all of the guys you work with, sidekicks, did you really like? Who really?
Well, that's hard to say because I liked all of them.
Oh, okay. I just thought you might have had a favorite.
No. I imagine Frog.
He was my favorite.
Yeah,
I liked him and Gabby.
Yeah, him and Gabby, and but I guess that's about it because he was hilarious. When the camera wasn't rolling, he made everybody laugh.
Yeah,
and so that's why I kind of favor him because he was so funny all the
time.
time.
I heard that Smiley Burnett was a master musician.
Oh yeah, he could play anything. I mean anything. Any kind of instrument, he could play it, and how he got that knowledge, I'll never know, because I have a hard time playing a guitar.
Well, me too. I know about 3 chords.
Yeah, that's about me too.
Yeah, and I can't play those very well. I know I could never make a living as a musician.
No, I couldn't either. My ear's dead or something or other because it don't sound right every time I play it.
I want you to tell people a little bit. I was so impressed. Several years ago, you told me about this school that you worked with, and I thought it was wonderful what y'all did.
Thatcher School?
Yeah, you remember the school?
Oh, I worked for Thatcher School for 17 years. I worked there 12 years, lived there, ate there, slept there for 12 years. And I worked with the boys. It was a boys' high school. And each one had their own horse for the first year. They could keep them for the first year, or they could keep them for the whole 4 years.
Yeah.
It was surprising that the majority of them kept them for the whole 4 years.
Yeah.
And we taught the kids how to ride. We selected their horses. They all owned their own horse. They bought them. But it was our horses that they bought. And then whenever they left school, they either turned them back or took them home. And some of them took them home and still kept them. But the majority of them left them there at the school, and we'd resell them again. And I enjoyed that job, I think, probably more than any other job that I ever had, because I got to work with the kids.
Yeah.
And it was very rewarding to see some kid that came there and just screaming every time the horse bounced and be a master horseman before he's over with. And you get to see that change come over him. And we had a kid there one year that his legs were about that big around, and he was about this tall, and he bounced on the horse when he was walking. He was our top rider at the end of 4 years.
Yeah.
And that was, it makes you feel
see the
good. See the transformation that he did and the things he accomplished and all that. It really, it moves your heart, I'll tell you.
Wow, I think it's one. I remember the first time you told me that. So we were having lunch at El Phoenix.
Yeah.
You were telling me the story, and I thought, oh my God, to have been able to do that.
Yes.
You know? And it's like, and you said a thing. You gave a statement. I've heard this said by other people, but you attribute it to the gentleman you worked for about the outside of a horse.
It's good for the inside of a boy.
Yeah.
Jess Cale. He was the greatest guy in the world. He was my boss there, and I worked with him for 12 years, and then he retired and then died shortly after.
Yeah.
And but he was the greatest guy with the kids, with the horses. He knew everything you ought to know about a horse.
Yeah.
But he also found out and knew about the kids. And he knew how to get them to do what they're supposed to do. And I learned that from him. And so he was just great. I can't say anything any more about it. He's just great.
What a great opportunity for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
to get to know someone that great.
Yeah.
And anyway, it changed my life, and hopefully I changed his a little bit.
Yeah.
And anyway, it was just a thrill. But I worked there for 12 years with him. And
so really, you had a life, really rewarding life beyond the movies.
That's right.
You had a good life in the movies, and but beyond that, teaching those kids,
yes,
working with that. To me, that's just wonderful.
And see, most of those, nearly all of them, never knew that I was ever in movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. So they didn't know you knew Robert Blake?
No.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what you are watching is two guys who have actually worked with Blake. You worked with Blake, didn't you?
No.
I did.
You did?
I
well,
did.
Good for you.
Well, yeah. And I survived. No, I got to say this. He was very nice to me. Very nice to me, and treated me very well. And
I did meet him, but I just met him. I didn't really know him.
Yeah. No, I worked with him in a movie called Corky.
Uh-huh.
And he played a race car driver, and with Christopher Conley. I don't know if you ever knew him. Fine actor, fine man. And but anyway, it was a good time back in 1970.
Uh-huh.
And so anyway, listen, I'm going to wrap this up.
Okay.
Take time to thank you for taking time to come and visit with us.
My
here
pleasure.
On Crossroads and at the MayFest Cowboy Festival.
Good.
The Cowboy Way. I love it. All right. Thank you very much, Don.
You're welcome.
I appreciate
Thank you
it
for
so much.
having
Thank
me.
you for the interview and reminiscing about the school and everything. Thank you, guys.
Howdy, folks. My name is James Hoffpauir. Today I'm out here with Danny Boy, out here at the Crossroads Ranch. My request is this. Have you signed up to be an organ donor? And have you talked this over with your loved ones so that they know your desires? That is a gift that only you and God together can give to those in need. So, till we meet again, good luck, God bless, and we'll see you at the Crossroads. Let's go, Dan.
All right, and welcome back to Crossroads Live. I have the honor of being with my good friend Francine, who we actually met a year ago at James Jury's luncheon.
Right.
Remember that?
Yes.
We met at that steakhouse right here in Ardmore, Oklahoma. Right. And I didn't meet you until we had that luncheon.
That's right.
Yeah. And then a lady walked over and asked if Francine could come sit with us, and I said, no. No, that's not true. That's not true. She came over and joined us, and we had a wonderful evening.
We did.
We all did. Everybody had a great evening. And so how you been this last year? I saw you once during the year. We had lunch over in Denton. And so how you been?
I've been fine.
Since you survived having lunch with me one time, right?
Yes. I didn't want to try it again. I didn't know what might happen.
Oh, you were afraid to try one more time. Oh, my goodness gracious. Anyway, well, maybe sometime you come back down to Texas and we'll have lunch again.
We can do that.
We can?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So how is it going this last couple of days, Francine, here at the...
It's been a good gathering.
Been gathering?
Yeah. It's been fun, and I think everybody's had fun. First day was kind of chilly.
Yeah.
But then the sun came out, and it's going to be real warm today.
Yeah.
So it's been good weather. It hasn't been a rainstorm or anything.
Yeah. Not too hot.
Not too hot.
Not too hot, unless you're sitting over there in the sun.
Right.
Yeah, and then it gets a little warm. Yeah. And so, let me ask you about your poetry. Is it poetry that you're writing, or is it poetry that you're just doing? Well, are you a writer also?
I'm a writer.
You're a writer?
I'm a writer. I've written all my poetry.
All of them?
All of it.
How many books you got out?
I've got 2.
2 books out?
2 books.
That's good. That's 2 more than I have.
And I have a CD.
A CD?
Yes.
Yeah. And now, are your poems, when you write, or do you write funny poems, or are they serious poems? Are they cowboy love poems?
Well, there's kind of everything. Some of them are serious, and some of them are funny, and some of them are kind of nostalgic.
Yeah.
And you kind of go, oh.
Oh, that kind of thing. Yeah. Wow. So, how did you get involved with poetry? I mean, doing poetry.
About 20 years ago, I read an ad in the newspaper that said, if you want to learn about cowboy poetry, come to this meeting. And I was teaching high school English, so I thought that would be a good thing to learn about. And that's when it happened.
Oh, so really you just got
I went
caught the fire, right?
Right. I just went, and it was a 6-week class at a junior college.
Yeah.
And we had to write cowboy poetry. And that just means 99% of the time it rhymes. It has a definite rhythm and meter.
Right.
And it's about cowboys, farm life, ranch life.
Yeah. Well, because there's one lady, I asked her that question. I said, does poetry have to rhyme? And she said, no.
No, it doesn't.
It has a freedom of its own.
Yeah.
That's what I
But
was told.
usually, cowboy poetry rhymes.
Usually.
Usually.
Yeah. Well, I not being a poet, you know, and but no, and it's a. So, how many festivals is this the first one this year, or have you done more?
I went to the Fort Worth Stock Show in January.
Okay.
And that's a yearly event that I go to.
Yeah.
I've done that for a long time. And
is that with Bob Terry and is that with
yes.
Bob and John?
Yes.
Johnny? I heard Bob.
And Judy James.
Judy Jones, yeah. Wow, that's good company.
Yes, it is.
Good company. You know, we used to we would go do interviews there. One year we did. That's how I met Bob. Through doing interview with Bob at the stock show. You know, and but that was an interesting night because we had him and a lot of people that were on the show.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't get to do it this year because our crew was not available. So it's sort of hard to do interviews without a crew.
I guess it would be.
Yeah. They were all busy. They all had prior commitments. You know. But anyway, so we didn't get to do it. And maybe next year.
Yeah, well, it's a good festival. So
oh,
I
yeah,
have to go.
it's great. Yeah, a couple of interview our friend Buck Taylor.
Yeah.
You know, Buck. And so... And we have a lot of the guys. I don't know if you know Mo Hedricks and those guys, but anyway, they come out and they always got interesting stories to tell. And so, anyway, so what I want to know about, have you got a nice poem that you would like to do for us today?
I can do one. What subject would you like?
Whatever subject appeals to you at the moment. What would you like to do?
Okay, I'll do one called Wild Horses.
Oh, I like that. Because I love horses, you know. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you take it over. And I'm going to step out and just let you have the camera and do your poem.
Okay. At the top of every mountain and beside every gurgling stream, I see wild horses running free there, though I know it's just a dream. These painted ponies fill my thoughts with flowing manes that whip the wind. A ghost horse image thunders past that seems to be from memory kenned. And side by side as one we race them, unbound by earth's restraining hand. With youth and joy and wild abandon, the future seems at our command. Then daylight brings a call familiar, and broomtail colts soon fade from sight. Though freedom's full release is tempting, there's no regret in doing right. Seasons pass and you're still with me, and every day's a gift, you see. So we will sit and dream together of more wild horses running free. Oh, you're back.
I thought you were through. Are you through?
I'm through.
Okay. Oh, I came back because you got another short, quick one you would like to do for us?
I can do that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. I'll just sit right here and just enjoy.
Okay. This is one of the first poems I wrote as a cowboy poet. Those rusty spurs over there on the shelf have quite a tale to tell. They used to belong to a friend of mine, someone I knew quite well. He had bought those spurs at an auction when he was just a pup. Visions of being a cowboy had him saying, "Ma'am," and "Yup." He practiced on some mangy steers, feet near dragging the ground. Then he moved on up to the big time, but he got thrown in the short go-round. Yet still he stayed, and his mama prayed, and he never did get hurt, till that fateful day when she was away, and he got yanked down in the dirt. That bullet exploded out from the chute, head down, tail to the sky, twisting, snorting, and slinging snot like he was trying to fly. The boy heard the crowd start to rumble as that devil hit the ground, but then the cheers turned silent as the cowboy lay face down. I watched it all from back in the stall, saw him ride wild and free. They took him away on a stretcher that day, and they brought his spurs to me.
You are very talented, young lady.
Thank you.
Very talented. And I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to take this time to thank you for coming and being with us.
My pleasure.
And sharing your poems with us, sharing your little story with us. And let's do lunch again.
Okay.
All right. You got a date.
Call
All
me.
right. I'll tell you what. Francine Roark Robison. Got it. And I'm Jim. Yeah.
Bill, what are you doing?
Just thinking.
What are you thinking?
You know what's wrong with guys like us?
No, what?
We were born 100 years too late. I wish I'd been a cowboy back in 1892, riding and a-roping, wearing spurs upon my boots. I'd ride the range, herd the cows, but partner, it's my fate, 'cause I was born 100 years too late. 100 years too late, Lord, 100 years too late. Would have been a cowboy then, that would have been just great. Punching cows with my old horse, giving my old rope a toss. Yep, I was born 100 years too late. Dream that I'm a cowboy when I'm riding in my truck, singing with the radio along with Clint and Buck. I'd bust the broncs, rope the strays, be happy all my days. But I was born 100 years too late. I guess I must be happy with a regular job for me, working days from 9 to 5 to feed my family. Now I must be contented with the dreams of a cowboy ways, 'cause I was born 100 years too late. 100 years too late, Lord, 100 years too late. Would have been a cowboy then, that would have been just great. Punching cows with my old horse, giving my old rope a toss. Yep, I was born 100 years too late. I was born 100 years too late.
Bill, it's time to go.
Yep, you're right.
When I'm riding in my truck, singing with the radio, along with
Load up. Load up.
rope the stray, be happy all my days. But I was born 100 years too late.
Till we meet again, good luck, God bless, and we'll see you at the crossroads. Let's go, Dan.